Hi YouTube and welcome back to my channel. I am so freaking happy to have you here because I have been asked for like 3 years now to create a digital planner tutorial, and guess what? Today we're finally doing it! So excited. So if you've never seen me before, my name is Megan and I teach people how to create digital designs like the digital planner that we're creating today. And I also teach you how to sell them online, even though I don't really do any content about that, but I'm working on it. So anyways, if you liked today's video, make sure you give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button below, and if you've got any questions or anything, make sure you drop those in the comment section. Now, as far as this planner goes, this is going to be a really simple, easy to create planner on Canva. I know a lot of times people use GoodNotes to create their planners, or they use Keynote, and not everybody has access to that, but Canva, I mean, pretty much anyone can get access to it. It's free of charge. If you do want to try out Canva Pro, I have a link in my description box for a free 30-day trial. And I also have a link in my description box for a digital planner for sale that you can, create to be your own and then resell it online. So I'm really excited to share that with you, but we will go ahead and get started. Now, I already have Canva pulled up, and what I did was I hit create a design. I'm sorry, I'm like chewing gum over here. And I hit US letter document. And it pulled up this design right here. So it's just going to be a blank page. That's all you're going to see. And we're not going to use any of the templates or like pre-made designs here. We're going to start from scratch. But before we start the planner from scratch, once we've got this page pulled up, I do like to go to Google Docs and map out my planner, because the way you have to link everything together in Canva, you can't link the pages back and forth between each other until you get all of the pages set up in your document. So I like to map out, what tabs I need so that I'm not like scrambling at the last minute being like, oh, well, I should put this tab here, but I've already hyperlinked it between each other. It just clears up a lot of confusion like that. So I have this blank document pulled up, and I'm going to hit this numbered list right here. And I'm just going to use this for the tabs. So for this first page that we have in this document, we don't need a tab for it because no one goes back to the cover of the planner, or at least I've never done that. If you do want to do it, then you can create a tab for it, but we're not going to do that. So I'm going to go back over here, and the first tab that we're going to create is going to be for the home page. So home is number one. Then we're going to go ahead and put all 12 months. So January, February, March, April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. And then at the bottom, I'm going to put a tab for notes. Again, you don't have to do this, and you can make this as complicated as you want or as easy and efficient as you want. Like I said, the one that we're about to make is going to be really simple. Oh my gosh, I just like spit everywhere. But anyways, so these are the tabs that I'm going to create. Now, if you want to get really fancy, then you can put tabs like up at the top of the digital planner. So you can put tabs up here. But for the tabs for this planner, I'm just going to go down this way, and I'm going to show you in just a second. We're going to get started. So for the notes page, I'm going to create one tab for it, but I'm going to put 3 different notes pages. So I'm going to do 3 pages. So for sure, we need 14 pages. We need 14 tabs, and we for sure need 14 pages, but we also need a 15th page for this cover one right here. And then we also need 2 more for the extra notes pages. So I'm going to go back over here, and I'm going to do, so let's see, 14, then 15 for the home page, 16, 17. So I think we only need 17 pages, but I might change that. So I'm just going to make sure we've got 17 pages. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. And if we go over here to this grid view, then we can see all 17 pages. And if you actually click next to the number, there's a little pin right here, and you can go ahead and name these. And this is what I recommend doing. It just makes it way easier going forward. Once you start like hyperlinking pages, it makes it way more quick. So I'm going to go ahead and name these. So this is going to be the cover page. Number 2 is going to be home. And it's pretty much going to be exactly what we did just a minute ago with the Google Docs thing. So March, April, May, June, July, August, September. And like I said, if you wanted to make this more complicated, if you had more than 17, then you would just do what I just did and add more pages than 17, and then you would just rename them from here. So October, November, December, oops, not January. We're going to do notes, and then we're going to do lined notes, and then we're going to do blank notes. And I'm going to go ahead and add another blank notes page, but we're only going to make a tab for this one. So this is 18 pages total, and I think we've got everything. Yeah. Okay, so I think this is good. And what I'm going to do is, now that it's in the grid view, I'm just going to double click on the page that I want to go to and start from here. So this is going to be the cover page. It's going to have the tabs on it, and you're going to be able to click all the tabs, but no one goes back to the cover page. Hopefully that makes sense. So I'm just going to click on this, and now I'm going to create it to what I want. Now, a lot of people do like to use like a wood background for this, but there's really not going to be much of a background that you can see on this planner. So I'm just going to create it with a black background, but if you wanted to, and if you wanted to make it like some people make their digital planners, then you can always go to photos and type in wood background. As you can see, I've already played around with this a little bit, and you can pick whatever you want to choose. So I've seen this before on some planners, and then you can make the planner whatever. Lighter colored backgrounds work really good if you want to create your planner with more like darker colors, but I like a brighter planner with a dark background personally, so that's why I'm just gonna go with black. So I'm gonna go with black, and I want all the pages to be black, so I'm going to go ahead and change all. Now, a thing to note when you hit that change all button, so I'm gonna reverse this. Something to think about is you want to make sure that if you don't want to change the color across all the pages, make sure not to hit that button. I don't know where it went this time, but anyways, so I'm gonna maybe redo it, but it's not letting me redo it. So now I'm gonna have to go in here and manually, just kidding, it came back up this time. So I'm gonna change all of these to black, and I'm gonna move myself back over, and now we can get to work. So this is gonna be the cover page. So we just need to create the cover with the tabs. So to get a rectangle or a square on here, all you have to do is hit R on your keyboard, and a rectangle or square is gonna automatically pop up. Now from here, you can change it to have like a rounded edge. So if you wanted it to be rounder like that, like we're gonna do with the tabs, that's how to do it. Or you can just leave it blank like this. You can also, I'm gonna delete this. You can also go over to elements, and under, let's see, I think it's under grids. Yep. So under grids, you can hit this first option and then change it a little bit. And from here, you can go back to photos, and you can create some kind of background on here. So if you wanted to do Halloween pattern, you can do something cute like this, and there's your cover. And then you would just put the tabs over here. Now some people like to create their planner to where it has like binder rings and then like the top tabs, and you know, it looks like it's been flipped open. That is a little more complicated than this, and it's not really that difficult, but this video is not going to include it. However, I am cool with showing it on a later video, so stay tuned for that if you're interested in it, but this is what this is going to look like. So I actually think that Halloween is kind of cute, so we're going to stick with this, and I'm now going to go ahead and create the tabs. Let me drag this out a little more. Yeah, I think that looks good. So to do the tabs, I'm going to hit R again on my keyboard, and I don't like the way that orange looks with the orange cover, so I'm going to change it to I think that looks pretty good for now. Actually, I might want to do it a little darker. I'll figure it out, but I'm not worried about that right now. So I'm going to go to, actually, let me zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to go to corner rounding over here, and I'm going to drag it up a little bit so I can fully see it, and I'm going to change it to 30. I think that looks pretty good. And clearly I need to make this smaller because only like 4 tabs can fit here if I made it this size, so sometimes you have to play around with this part, which sucks, but it pays off in the end once you get the planner finished. I still think that's too big for 14 tabs, so I'm going to play around with this for just a second. And I don't like the way this looks when it lines up with the corners right here, so I'm going to just hit the down arrow on the keyboard once I have it lined up like that, and now I'm going to move it to the left by hitting the left arrow on my keyboard, and that looks a lot better. So I'm still going to make this a little smaller because there needs to be 14 that fit. So sometimes this is just like, this is some real tedious work, to be honest, this part is, but it'll look really good, I promise. And I actually don't like the way how rounded this is, so I'm going to change the rounding to 15. And I'm going to make it just a little bigger. There we go. All right. Okay, that looks good. So I'm going to zoom in again. And the way I zoom in, you can obviously use this little tool right here to zoom in and out. So if you left click it, you can zoom in and out. But on my laptop, I can just move my 2 fingers like this on the keypad and it does it. So you might have something like that you can use with Canva, or that you can use like period with your laptop. So now here comes the fun part. I have to zoom in a little more. I want there to be a little bit of a space between these tabs because unfortunately there's not a way to put a shadow behind the tabs like there is when you use Keynote. So you kind of have to like eyeball this, which, like I said, sucks a little bit, but you'll like the finished product, I think. So now what I'm going to do, instead of having to do what I just did and like zoom in and duplicate all the tabs, I'm just going to highlight this bottom one. Then I'm going to hit Shift on my keyboard and highlight the top one. So they're both together. And I'm going to hit Command D, or you can hit Control D if you have a Windows computer. And I'm going to hit Control D and it's duplicated it. So now I'm going to move it to where it's lined up according to the little pink lines with the numbers, and I'm basically going to keep doing that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, perfect. So here's 14 tabs, I think. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right, perfect. So what I'm going to do now, there's a little bit too much space right here at the bottom. So I'm going to make all of these tabs a little bigger at the same time. So I'm going to move my cursor to the right of this page and I'm going to left click it up here. And I'm just going to drag this purple box just to cover the tabs. You don't want to cover this like orange part, just the tabs. And now I'm just going to drag this to make it a little bigger. And I think that looks good. So now I'm going to, actually, I really don't think I did that much just then. Let me see if I can make it slightly bigger. Okay, there we go. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this bottom one because it's still not aligned and I want everything evenly spaced. So I'm going to hit this bottom one after I zoom in a little bit, and I'm going to drag it. Got to really drag it. All right, here we go. Okay, so that looks about aligned, and I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm going to highlight just the tabs right here, and I'm going to position, and I'm going to tidy up, and now they're evenly spaced out. So from here, I'm going to hit this cover, and I'm going to do position, and I'm going to move to front. Excuse me. And here is our cover. Now we just have to add some text to the tabs, and for that I'm going to go over here to elements because I'm going to add an icon to the home page, to the home tab, and to the notes tab. So I'm just going to go to elements and I'm going to type in home icon, and I think this one would be good. I'm going to keep it like this, and again, this is like the tedious part, but it gets better. So I'm going to move this here. And to be honest, I really don't like this green color now that I'm thinking about it. So I'm going to go ahead and change it now. I'm going to change it to that color. So I'm going to go to, after I move myself, to change all. And I'm going to move myself back. And now I'm going to change this icon from black to white because I think the white lettering would look better. Okay, so that's the home icon, and then I'm going to do a notes icon. So notes icon, and this can be just like a pen or something, so it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Actually, I kind of like the way this one, I like this one. That one's cute. So I'm going to change this to white and make it a lot smaller. I'm actually going to make it the same size as this home icon. And for that, I'm going to have to zoom in a little bit. And that's actually the same size. Look at that. So now I'm just going to zoom out and drag it to this bottom icon, or the bottom tab. And now we're going to add the text to the tabs. So to do that, all you do is hit T for text. And obviously I'm going to change it to white, like the different icons. And I actually like this font, but I don't want to use it for this planner. I like caps, like this League Spartan. I think the League Spartan is pretty good. It's just like a solid, plain font. So this is going to be January. Now, to get this to, sit on these tabs vertically, all you have to do is do this little twisty icon right here, and you can change it to 90 degrees. And then, of course, you're going to have to make this font smaller, so I'm going to click out of that to get the text stuff to go away, and I want to make it so that it fits on here, and that's way too big, so I'm going to make it smaller. And another thing I'm going to do is I'm going to drag the box out to fit the tab. So the text box fits this whole tab, and the reason that I recommend doing that is because when you're grouping these tabs together with the text box, it makes it a lot easier. And like I said, that's something that you'll see in just a second. So I think that looks good. Actually, I'm going to move it. No. Maybe this font won't work. Maybe it will. I don't know. Let's see. January. Okay. Yeah, that looks really good. So now I'm just going to select it and hit Command D and write out all these months. So January, February, March, April. Okay, so I've gotten all of the text put on the tab. So what I'm going to do is, I don't know if it's evenly aligned, but I know the tabs are. So I'm going to just select the tabs. So I'm going to select this first one and hit Shift, and then select the rest of them. And I'm going to, once they're finished, hit Position and hit Tidy Up, and that should fix it. So now our text is evenly aligned, and we have the Home tab and the Notes tab, and so we're good. So now we can put whatever cover we want here. You can leave this blank, or you can make this as like decorative as you want and fun as you want. So for instance, I'm gonna hit R on my keyboard again, and I'm going to change this to white and change the rounding, and I'm gonna move it up here. And I'm going to then select the box that I just created. I'm going to duplicate it by hitting Command D on my keyboard. And this is actually really cool. So I'm going to change this to no color. And then I'm going to change it to have a dotted border. And I'm going to make the border smaller. So let me see. Actually, that looks really bad. Okay, so I'm going to change it to look like this, because this is kind of cute. And I'm going to sit it on top of this, but I'm going to make it a little smaller. So I'm going to, with this box selected, I'm going to hit Shift. And then I'm going to scroll it in so that it doesn't lose its shape. And there we go. So now I can hit T for text, and actually, like I said, I like this font, so I'm going to do Undated Digital Planner and make this bigger. And I'm going to change the letter spacing a little bit. Actually, I don't like the way that looks. So yeah, you can just play around with it, but this is what it's going to look like for this planner, and I'm just going to make it bigger, and you can change the font to whatever. So I can change it to this bright purple and make it real Halloweenish. And yeah, so that is the cover page for the Undated Digital Planner. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go ahead and group these tabs together. So the tab and the text are separate right now, but I'm going to left click to the right of this document, and I'm going to highlight both the tab and the icon, and I'm going to hit Command G to group it, and I'm going to do that for all of these. So I'm going to group these, and once I group them, then I'm going to go ahead and start hyperlinking these pages, because that's the whole reason why we created, you know, all 17 or 18 pages first. Because if you were to just create this first page and then create all the tabs for it, then guess what? You would have to create all the pages first before linking them together. And I just find that this is a lot easier. So I'm going to do this, and I'm going to go ahead and group this white box, this lined box, and the text together. And I'm going to then select the cover, and I'm going to go to Position, and I'm going to go to, actually, just kidding. I'm going to move this forward, so I'm going to move it forward. Nope, I'm not going to do that either. So just kidding. What we're going to do is we're going to highlight all the tabs, and we're going to position and move to back. And now we're good. So now I'm going to go ahead and hyperlink all these. So this is the cover page. We don't need any of these tabs linked to page 1. However, I'm going to zoom in, maybe, if this thing decides to fully cooperate with me. And I'm going to click on this pink part and not the white part, because if I click on the white part, it's going to put a line under it when I hyperlink it. So I'm going to click on this pink part, and sometimes you have to right click on it. Sometimes you can just hit Command K. So I'm going to right click on it, and I'm going to do link, and I'm going to link this home tab to the home page. And now I'm going to go down and do the same thing. So I'm going to hit this pink part, right click on it, link, and I'm going to go to January. So I'm going to link all of these to their pages. So I'm going to click on it and then right click and then link. Sometimes it doesn't like me. And again, this is a little tedious, but once we get it done, then we can just copy this page and paste it onto all the other ones. So it makes it really easy once you get this going. So I'm going to do March. And something that makes it quicker, instead of doing what I'm doing right here and going to link and then scrolling down and like physically clicking on it, I could just type in April and it should do it. So let's see. I guess April is page 6. All right, cool. So yeah, sometimes you just kind of have to play around with it, but this is the most difficult part, honestly. If you can get through the hyperlinking of the pages, then you're good. So May, and then we've got a few more. We've got June. And July, and maybe one day I will learn to click on it first before I try to right click it. So this is July, and then I'm just going to keep scrolling down. So this is August, and then we got September. I don't even know why I'm creating this like Halloween thing, because to be honest, Halloween is my least favorite holiday. I was allowed to trick-or-treat as a kid, but like I never got into it, and I just don't like fall. I don't like the colors. I think it's just because it's really hot outside. I kind of miss the cooler weather. So I don't know, but the Halloween look was cute for this, so we're just gonna go with it. And we're almost finished. So this one is December. And then this one is gonna be the notes page. And now we are finished with the hyperlinking. Now we're obviously not completely finished with the planner. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna hit Command A to highlight everything. Or you can just left click anywhere and drag your cursor, drag this purple box across everything. I just always hit Command A because I'm used to it. Then I'm going to copy this, so I'm going to do Command C. And then I'm going to scroll down to the home page right here, and I'm going to hit Command V, and it's going to copy everything. But I don't want on the home page this undated digital planner thing, so I'm going to delete that. And I'm going to change this from the Halloween background to white. And now we have our homepage. So on the homepage, you can honestly put whatever you want to put. You can type in, you can do T for text, and then do, let's see, home page links. And move it to the top, and then from here you can put like, hang on, let me change this around. I don't know if people actually do this or not because I don't use a digital planner, but so we can do January and then put like all the months here. So January, February, March, April, May. I don't know why I didn't spell out April the whole way. That's awkward. Okay, so January, February, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right, and then, whatever. I'm not going to put all 12 months because that's wasting a lot of time. So you can put that here and then link these back to the tabs, or you can just put you can do whatever with the home page. So this is what my home page is going to look like for this tutorial, but obviously if I was creating this to sell, or if you purchase the planner that I have created to make it your own to sell, it's obviously not going to look like this. So take this with a grain of salt, but this is an example of what you can do with your homepage. So now I'm basically going to do the same thing. So I'm going to do Command A to select everything, Command C to copy, and then I'm going to scroll down to January, and I'm going to do January. So this one is going to look a little different. I'm going to go ahead and delete, actually, I'm not going to delete this white part. So I'm going to drag my purple square cursor thing across these, but then I'm going to hold down Shift on my keyboard and unselect this white box, because if I hadn't unselected it and I just hit delete, then it's going to delete everything except this text box. So I'm going to select everything again, hit Shift, unselect the white box, and then delete this text. So now I'm going to change this to January, and I actually I'm going to keep it that font, but I don't like the way that J looks, so I'm going to do all lowercase. So January, and then I'm going to go ahead and add a table, and I'm just going to go to Elements. And I definitely created a video on how to add a table, like right before Canva put this function in. So, so if you watched that, or if you have watched that recently, I'm so sorry. That's not, you can still create a table that really difficult way that I did, but this is way easier. So I'm just going to hit this first option. And with this table, I need to make sure that there are 5 columns down and that there's 7 rows across. So to add more rows, you're going to go to the left of the table, hit the 3 dots, and do add row, and I think that's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, perfect. And then it's the same thing for the columns. If you want to add the columns, then you need to hit these dots up here, actually click out of it, then click back into it, and then hit the dots, and then add the column. So that's 4, that makes 5. Here is 6, and here is 7. So from here you can move it around, and you can make it as big or as small as you want. So I think this one looks okay. I mean, like I said, this one does not look at all like the one that I'm selling if you choose to purchase that one. This is just showing you how I created, a basic planner. So you can totally change this if you want. And then I'm going to duplicate this text box, and I'm going to type in notes, and now I'm just going to hit L on my keyboard, and I'm going to change the line weight of this to match the box, to match the calendar. And I'm going to line this up. So that looks good. And now I'm just going to add some lines, and I'm going to keep doing it. So all I did for the lines was just I selected one and hit Command D. If you didn't catch that, I know that was really fast. But that's what I did for the notes section, and honestly, it's as simple as that. So now I'm just going to select everything, hit Command C, and then hit Command V, and we just have to change the months. So select everything, copy, paste, or you could just do copy, paste, 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 and then go back and change the months. So I mean, you really have a lot of different options here as far as creating the calendar page. And if you wanted to, you could make this as complex as you wanted to. I know a lot of planners have like a weekly overview, a monthly overview, and all that when you type these different, when you hit these different tabs. Let's see, and then December, And then for this one, we're just going to do notes. So I'm going to go back up to the home page and I'm going to copy that, and then I'm going to paste it here, and I'm going to select all of these and delete that. And now I'm just going to Command A and then Command C to copy, and then Command V to paste, and then Command V to paste. So I'm going to change this to notes again, and then I'm going to do this one as a lined notes page, and then I'm going to do this one as a blank notes. And then I'm going to do, actually, I'm just going to do notes, and I'm going to copy and then paste this again, and that's going to be notes too. So like I said, if you want to make this really fancy and put like a weekly overview or like a daily overview or like a monthly notes section right here, what you would do is what I'm about to do with this notes page. So this page is linked to this tab, but if you go to this tab in this page, you're going to be able to click on two different types of notes pages, and the same thing goes if you wanted to create like a goal overview or a monthly overview or whatever for the different months. So for this first notes page, I'm going to do I'm going to do a rectangle, but I'm going to change the border style to 2, and I'm going to make this blank, and I'm going to do, I'm going to type in a lined square. Square with lines. Okay, so none of these fit what I'm looking for. I'm going to put a bunch of lines inside this box. So I'm going to do L for line, and I'm going to move it up. And I'm going to move this because I want to create like a lined thing. So I'm going to select all these lines, and I'm going to do position. Okay, they're already tidied up, so I just need to make these a little smaller, but I'm going to create this, and I'm going to group everything together so that you will be able to click on these. And this is, again, something tedious, and you absolutely don't have to do this. You could just put like in text, like lined notes. Actually, I am going to go ahead and do that. So I'll show you both ways. So this is going to be our lined notes thing. And let me make sure everything is selected that's supposed to be. So now I'm going to group this together, and this is going to be linked. So I'm going to right click on this, and I'm going to go to link, and I'm going to do notes. Actually, I'm not going to do notes. I'm going to go to lined notes, and then I'm going to duplicate this, but this one is going to go to blank notes. Now, this is already grouped together, so to ungroup it, you will have to ungroup it. So I'm going to select this, and I can either hit ungroup, or I can do Command Shift G to ungroup it. And now I'm just going to click on these lines and select all the lines, and then this is going to be blank notes. So I'm going to go to, now that it's selected, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to hit link, and I'm going to link it to the blank notes. And I'm going to delete this page because I only want 2 notes pages. So Let's see. So it's going to be line notes and blank notes, and then obviously for the blank notes, we're going to leave it blank, but for the line notes, we're just going to put lines on here, and I'm going to drag them out. So from here, I'm just going to duplicate these until there's like a whole page of lines. And this is what the lined notes page looks like. So this is the lined notes page that if you click on this, you will be taken to, and then here's the blank page if you want to be taken to the blank page. And now I'm just going to, let's see, I'm going to change all the months right here and make sure they line up. So this is where we stopped. So this is going to be March. This is going to be April. Okay. One day I will get this together. So May, and then June, and then July. I know this is really tedious, and you can totally fast forward through this. I'm not expecting you to watch like every second of this. So that's September, and then we're going to do October and November. My brain can't think right now. And December, and then there's both of our notes pages, and I'm actually gonna take everything off that home page because I think it looks better like this. So let's see, so put whatever you would like to right here, and I'm gonna make this bigger. Okay, so like I said, your planner that you receive if you choose to buy the planner in my description box is not going to have a home page like this. It's actually just going to be blank, but this is what a really quick planner looks like. Now, in order to save this planner and be able to use it on a planning app like GoodNotes, I'm going to change the name to June Planner, and I'm going to share this. So I'm going to go to share, and I'm going to hit download. And instead of PNG, I'm going to go ahead and do PDF standard. And I'm going to download it and make sure that all 17 pages download. And hopefully this works. I recommend testing out the links first. Before saving this, which I did not do because I've been working on this for like almost an hour. So anyways, I'm going to save this to whatever folder, and I'm going to go ahead and open up GoodNotes. So I'm going to go to applications, and I know I have GoodNotes on here somewhere, but I don't ever use it. Okay, cool. So GoodNotes, I don't know why it says I opened it today earlier because I haven't used it in like a month or two, so who knows. But when it pulls up, I'll show you how to do it. Now, if you're on an iPad trying to do this, I no longer have an iPad. I haven't had one in like 2 years, so I can't tell you exactly how to do it. You would have to watch a different tutorial to learn how to do that. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and let me see. I think I can import something. Or maybe I can click on this planner. Hang on. I know there's a way to do it, but I can't think right now of exactly how to do it. PRST, test stuff, and then I'm going to go to... I have so much stuff in here. Alright, so maybe I can right click on this and open with... Okay, yes, here we go. Open with GoodNotes. Got it. So I'm going to go ahead and import this as a new document. And all I did to do that was wherever you save it on your computer, you just right click on it and then hit open with, and it should pop up GoodNotes if you have GoodNotes. So I'm going to go ahead and import this as a new document, and it'll pull up in just a second. So here we go. This is actually one that I did recently on TikTok Live. So if you are on TikTok and you don't follow me, then make sure you do that because I do tutorials on that occasionally, but I'm going to go ahead and left click on the June planner, and I'm going to make this bigger. And now our planner is pulled up. So if I hit October, yay! It takes us to October. If it takes us to notes, and I want to go to the lined notes page. Okay, it's definitely not going to take me to the lined notes. So you might want to put text up here that says like lined notes and blank notes, because this is like, well, that's working, but this one's not for whatever reason. Anyways, if you hit this home tab, then it's going to go home. It's going to go to the home page where you can access the links. If you want to go and like put your birthday in here, or put the 4th of July in here, or write, this is so hard to do. This is so hard to do when I'm not on an iPad, but I think this is October. So, actually just kidding. I'm going to put 4th of July to show you. So July, and I'm going to write Happy 4th. Oh, that looks so bad. Happy 4th. As you can see, I don't really use GoodNotes a lot, and it's so hard to write on this like keypad thing instead of like using the Apple Pencil or your finger on an iPad. So, thank you for, oh, that doesn't look too bad. Thank you. Yay. Okay, cool. So anyways, this is our digital planner, and I'm going to exit out of that mode, and I'm going to go back to the home screen and scroll up to the digital planner. No, I do not want to put a new page on here, but this is what it should look like, and it should be fully functional. Again, make sure that you test out the hyperlink tabs before you save it as a PDF, or else you're going to have to delete it and then like fix it and then resave it again. And especially if you're selling it, you want to make sure that it all works at once, because you don't want bad reviews, and you don't want, you know, irritated customers saying that their planner doesn't work properly, yada, yada, whatever. But yeah, that's pretty much it for a basic digital planner. So if you're still watching it until this point, thank you again for watching this video. And if you have any questions, make sure to let me know, and I will see you again very soon. Mwah!